ورحمة الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوكل عليه، ثم نصلي ونسلم على البشير النذير والسراج المنير أبا القاسم المصطفى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. My dear brothers and sisters, you inshallah remember that last night we began the main discussion concerning the man who can be with Abu Abdullah al-Husain alayhi salam. We said that one of the problems that do not let us to understand Abu Abdullah and the other awliya is that we do not face them with the human inside us. We usually we face them with the plant or with the animal inside. So we cannot catch up with the great level of humanity that they have. That is why we cannot understand Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha when she says, وَمَا رَأَيْتُ إِلَّا جَمِيلًا. You have to be a human to see the beauty. When we are animal, from animal level, animalistic level, you see the bloodshed, you see the torture, you see the thirst. Even when we want to recite the Rosa, we have to refer to these points. Otherwise, if we were human, there is no pain, there is the most difficult, I can say, the most hardest even for Abu Abdullah is this behavior of those people with Waliullah, with the perfect man. Because we are not perfect man, we cannot understand. Otherwise, if we are perfect man, this is the greatest rosa. When the Maqtal says, فَوَقَفَ الْحُسَيْنُ فَرِيدًا وَحِيدًا. This is the greatest rosa, but we don't understand it because we cannot face it with our human side. Because we have not developed that aspect. We cannot understand the position of lady when in the palace of Yazid. With all the hardships and difficulties she had, looking at them and saying, لَإِنْ جَرَدْ عَلَيَّ الدَّوَاهِ مُخَاطَبَتَكِ إِنِّي لَأَسْتَسْقِرُ قَدْرَكِ. If dunya made it in a way that I speak to you today, but do not think that I look at you as a king. You are so little in my eyes. لَأَسْتَسْقِرُ قَدْرَكِ. So you have to know what a human is then to know what Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha is saying. So Karbala could be understood when we have revived the man inside. That is why this is the main problem. We cannot be happy with Ahlul Bayt. We cannot be in rapture with Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Otherwise, every moment of life could be paradise for us. We said that when we look at Kamalat, when we look at the perfection in man's life, we see that we have some categories, some levels of perfection. I don't want to repeat them, just those brothers who were not present last night. We said that there are some perfection, and perfection is the existential effect of a being. The way that something is or can be used the best. You remember we mentioned the example of how to use a pen. So when we look at things, we see that there are objects, they have some kamalat, some perfections. Then this is the first stage of existence. Then it comes to the plants. Then it comes to the animals. Then it comes to the angels. After that, it is supposed to be human being. And each of them have their own perfection with the perfection of the lower category. So human being should be something special, higher than all, at the same time having the perfection of all those categories under them. Then if we have such understanding of man, then we will have so many different approaches in the life, and lots of problems will be solved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Prophet Dawood, Ya Dawood, be fafrah. O Dawood, be happy with me. وَبِذِكْرِي فَتَلَذَّذْ. By my remembrance, have happiness, enjoy. If you're looking for pleasure, it's in my dhikr. وَبِمُنَاجَاتِي فَتَنَعَّمْ. Thank you. And get all the best by talking to me, by my munajat, by having the honor to have privacy with me, to have intimacy with me. Then you cannot have anything better than this. But why we cannot enjoy? That is because we do not face Allah when we are reciting munajat with the human side of us. It is the vegetational side or animal side that comes to recite munajat, so we cannot benefit the way that we are supposed to. So when we look at things from that levels, then we will see the chaos in the life. You see the marriages, lady is not capable to deliver a baby, she's infertile. They divorce. Why? Because she cannot procreate. Is it a virtue for a human being to procreate? It is the vegetational value. But still she can be human being. So why you are going to divorce because she cannot bring baby for your kid for you? No, I have to be father. You want to be father for what? If you understand what human being is, then you will not divorce the wife because just she cannot bring kid for me. If you know what a human being is. You may say, I want to, have my generation continue. No, you can have your generation continue by other ways. If you want to have everlasting impact in this universe, you have other ways. Take care of the other kids. You can take care of the other kids, then that is your continuation. You can spend time for the other kids who do not have anyone to take care of them. Then that is your continuation. And sometimes even with very, very small things. There's a person, a friend of mine in Iran, he was one of the well-known wrestlers. So he comes from a very religious family. But he became very religious, and because he was famous, a good wrestler, going to different countries, he was known. So he could attract kids. He had a gym, training kids for free. Then after they had to have the exercise, he takes them to masjid, perform salat, to the class of Quran. Now he's working on so many kids around. And he told me that, why I came to this line while my family was not religious. He said, when I was young, once with friends, we happened to go to masjid. They were going to masjid, they took me to masjid as well. There was an old man who used to teach Quran. He gave me a pen, and he behaved me nicely. This way, I was attracted to masjid. Then I happened to go to masjid again and again. And then it changed my life. And now he is changing the life of so many people. And that old man passed away, rahmatullah alayh. That old man, in that realm of life, he will see abundant for giving a pen. Even he may not even remember the pen that he gave on that day. But it increases, it develops. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, that sometimes you give a date, one date, as sadaqah, on the day of judgment, you will see it bigger than the Mount Abu Qubais. It is developed, it is increased. You gave a pen, and now that single pen is the cause of guidance of thousands, hundreds, thousands, and these kids will have families, and as you go on to the day of Qiyamah, how much Baqiyat al-Salahat you are attaining by a single pen. So you can do that. You don't need to have your own kids, to continue till the day of Qiyamah. Baqiyat al-Salahat. If somebody is not married, if without marriage you may happen to commit sins, then that's another issue. But somebody doesn't marry and at the same time is not getting into sin, then this is the animal level. So it is very important to find what human aspect is. Without that, when we go even to Salat, we go to Quran. We have it that in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Shaitan comes from the left and from the right. From the right, it comes with the good actions that you do. From the right is when Shaitan goes to Qari al-Quran, to Hafiz al-Quran, to Alim, and uses your good deeds to spoil you. This is how it comes from the right. So if you do not recite Quran, if you have not memorized Quran as a human being, that Quran will spoil you. That Quran will destroy you. وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ. The very Quran, which is shifa. Shifa is something which is cure, is not medicine. Medicine, you take it, it may work, it may not work. But shifa is something that the healing and the cure is guaranteed. Quran is shifa. If you use it, there is no doubt it will work. But the very Quran that is shifa, وَمَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. But it could destroy a group of people. The very Quran could bring darkness to some people. So when you recite Quran, when you memorize Quran without being a human being, the person will be a very dangerous person. He could be a very dangerous person. You can recite Salat, you can perform Salat, but Salat could be very dangerous when animal is performing Salat. Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. It is there, but at the same time it says waylun lil musallin. It didn't say waylun lil mura'un allazina hum yura'un. Allah could say Allah is blaming those who do riyah. He could say waylun lil mura'un. But للمراعين, but said وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. You can perform salat, but this salat, one of these kings in the Islamic history, when you read about him, he used to perform too much salat and kill too much people. And the salat that he used to perform gave him energy to kill more people. When you perform salat and you feel that I'm performing mustahabbat, then I'm a very right person. Whatever I'm doing is right. This is how shaitan comes to you. When the animal is performing salat, then it helps you. Salat is like a fuel. Esta'inu bis-sabr was-salat. Esta'inu, get help from salat. I believe that salat increases what you are. If you are animal, increases your animality. If you are human, increases your humanity. It's like fuel. You can use the fuel in a bomb, you can destroy a city. You can use it in ambulance, you can survive lives. Salat gives energy. If an animal performs salat, then he has the energy. He feels I'm a right person, then he can kill people. So who is performing salat? Who is performing Hajj? Animal spends money, time for a month, goes to Hajj to come, then inshallah they will call me Al-Hajj. I will be called Al-Hajj. Karbalai. He goes to Karbala, then they will call him Karbalai. All the struggle to be called Al-Hajj. This is the animal, went to Hajj. Came back as an animal, but with more horns to attack people. So who is performing salat matters. Khidmatul khalq. So this is ibadat bejuz khidmat khalq nis. There is no ibadah like serving people. But who is serving people? And how to serve people? Sometimes it gets tricky, we sometimes we get confused because we see there are so many rewards for these acts in Sharia, in riwayat, in ahadith, in Quran. We see that there are so much, advices and rewards mentioned for doing these a'mal. But it is in the context that you are doing them as a human being. When you do them as a human being, then that is good. Then you keep the balance, the aspects are considered. So serving people is not always good. If it's going to hurt me in any sense, it's not good. I shouldn't do that. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, in one khutbah he says, when people, they used to cause chaos in the territory of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam said, do not think that I don't know how to rule over you. I can silence all of you. But I'm not a man to destroy my iman to correct you. So if I'm going to serve you and the serving you is going to be in challenge with my iman, I will give priority to my iman. إني لا أشتري صلاحكم بفساد نفسي. I'm not going to destroy myself to correct you. But Imam said, after me, there will be people who will take my revenge from you. When Ziyad came after Amir al-Mu'mineen, he did the same thing. He came to masjid, he recited khutbah. People thought that, they had the background that when Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam delivered khutbah, they used to make hue and cry and, not to let Ali speak. They made hue and cry. Ziyad said some ugly things, some people throw stones to him. He said, close the doors of masjid. And asked who did that. They brought the Quran. They said, you have to put your hands on Quran to swear that you didn't do. 70 people refused to put their hands on Quran. He chopped their right hands. 70 people, the right hands were chopped because you threw stones or you were not ready to swear that you didn't do that. When Ubaidullah came, looked at people in Kufa, he said, Ara fiikum ru'usan na'i'ah. I see heads, ripe heads, it's the time to chop them. Then people kept silent. Amir al-Mu'mineen said, I know how to rule over you, how to make you silent, but I'm not a man to destroy my iman just to correct you. Imam alayhi salam wants to say to Abu Abdullah al-Husain alayhi salam that if I face a dilemma to keep my iman or to kill you, do not doubt that I will not hesitate to kill you. This is Ali. So serving people is good, but when at the same time it keeps my humanity. So I am not supposed to serve under any circumstances, sometimes we go to serve and we destroy ourselves, we spoil ourselves. So who is doing this good act, philanthropic act matters. So we have to find that human side of us. We have to revive that human inside. When that human is speaking, when that human is performing salat, when that human is doing good acts, then you will see the fruits. Then you will see the outcomes. Then that human can have rapture with the name of Abu Abdullah. That human can enjoy being with Abu Abdullah in the high level of humanity. Then that human will be freed by Abu Abdullah al-Husain. So we have to find that human inside. I said, Ziyarat Ashura is ziyarah that if you recite it once with sincere intention, you are one of awliyaullah. If you really demanding and requesting those elements mentioned in Ziyarat Ashura from the bottom of your heart, don't hesitate, don't doubt that you are one of the greatest awliyaullah. If those things are really the quest inside you, but we just utter them. Of course, this utterance is also good. This utterance These are some lashes on our mind and our soul just to awaken us. That's why we have to keep reciting them. We have to keep even pretending to beg them. In Masnavi Taqdis, it mentions a story that once a young man saw the daughter of the king and fell in love. A poor person now in love with the daughter of the king. So it was very heavy on him, then he got sick. And actually, it is in parentheses. This is in parentheses. Say salawat, please. When I'm talking about the matter of love and falling in love with the opposite gender, this is something that was very common in the past. When you look at the books of Avicenna, when he talks about this, he considers it one of the psychological disease that then he talks how to solve it. And the idea was that at the time, there are limits for men of being in communication with women. These limitations sort of makes them eager to attain the opposite gender, the opposite sex. So this is one of the main outcomes of hijab, that men are attracted. So they will do things to obtain them. They fall in love. And sometimes when we read about these loves, they were very, very serious stories that the person was ready to do whatever for the beloved. But today you will not see those loves. Because when women begin to show off whatever they have, they don't know that they are losing their position. They decrease their position, they will not be beloved anymore. So you don't see, when there are so many beautiful faces around you, you will not fall in love. So those loves are just history. You don't see those loves to happen today. So those loves, when Abu Ali Sina talks about the concept of ishq, love, when he talks, the first category of love, he calls it a kind of psychological sickness, and he talks how to should heal those people. I mean, at that time it could be so serious, but you don't see it today. And that's why they can break very easily at the same time. The relations might not be that much strong, because at the time, man thinks that there are so many other options around. So you don't see those loves that they fell in love and they were ready to do any sacrifice. So he says that the man fell in love and he got sick, and the mother was worried that I'm losing son. So she used to go to the house of the king on and off, to the house of the prime minister on and off, and work as a servant. So she said her story that my son, I'm losing him. He's very in a critical condition. The minister said, I can find a way for your son to get what he wants. But he has to practice what I'm saying. He said, what? He said that tell him to go to that mountain and stay there and just practice worshiping. Do nothing except worshiping. The young man went there. This is the suggestion of the minister. He went there, began worshiping to get the beloved. Then the minister himself spread the rumor in the city that there is a mustajabud da'wa arif in the mountain. There is arif, one of awliyaullah, mustajabud da'wa, and anything he asks Allah, Allah responds. Then people began going. Usually people always have problems, and somebody can solve our problems. So we spread in the city, even the king heard about it. The king told to the minister that they're saying there is a Arif Mustajab Dawa, let's go. And the king didn't have a son, so he wanted to have a son to be the successor. The minister said, no, do not listen, these are rumors. People say these rumors, you are king, you shouldn't believe in these things. The king said, okay, let's just go and maybe it's a fun, let's see him. He may help us. So the minister sent someone, a messenger to the boy that we are coming with the king. So when you see us, do not rush to come to us and say salam and don't lose the control. Be worshipping for a while, then turn your face to the king and speak to him. Then I will talk in a way that I will settle everything to get what you want. Then the king and the minister, they went, they sat there, and the young man worshipping didn't pay attention to them worshipping. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. He didn't pay attention. Then they wanted to talk, he didn't care. Finally they left. They said that he's not paying any attention. The minister got angry, sent a message to the son, to the boy that, what are you doing? I made all this scenario, all this story to help you, and we came here, you didn't pay attention to us. The boy said, the moment you came with the king, something came to my mind, actually to my heart, that I pretended to worship. I was nothing. I just pretended to be with Allah. And then I found such a position that the king came to beg me. In that moment, I thought that if I worshipped Allah truly and honestly, what would happen to me? What position I could obtain if I worshipped honestly? Then in that moment, a light came to my heart and I forgot the daughter of the king and I found the new beloved. Then the poet, after mentioning it, is about to say that, you see, sometimes you begin things as just pretending, and it can turn into a serious issue. Sometimes you are just pretending to be in love with Allah, and in a specific moment, in a specific time, it can turn into a serious story. Lady Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha, in her dua Yawm al-Thulatha, on the dua of the Tuesday, she says, Allahumma aj'al salih ma naqulu ba'alsanatina niyatan fi qulubina. Oh Allah, we happen to speak nicely. We have to request good things, beautiful things. I ask you to make it the real and deep intention in my heart. Sometimes I recite Dua Kumail, Dua Abu Hamza. I have some requests. Make it serious in my heart. So if this happens, then it will revive that human side of us. Then you will see everything in a different way. Then you will receive the outcome of Iman that you have. Then even when you sleep, you are doing ibadah. When you are eating, you are doing ibadah. You are sleeping, and your sleeping, its value is much more than the prayer that all people perform. ضربة علي يوم الخندق أفضل من عبادة الثقلين. One strike of Amir al-Mu'mineen is worthy than the prayers of all human and jinn. It's not only his strike in that battle. This is the same with his Salatul Layl, this is the same with his fasting, this is the same with his reciting Quran, because that is the Ali, the essence of Ali performing Salat, gives value to that Salat. So if we find that human being inside, then everything will find the value. So then we have to see what is that human being. Now we want to try to find out what human being is. Inshallah, after salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. It's a little bit, might be kind of philosophical. I try to, inshallah, simplify it as much as I can. And I hope, inshallah, you do not get tired. In order to find out what man is, what human being is, when we look at ourselves, we see that I said there are some kamalat, some perfections for the objects we have, for the plants we have, for the animals we have. So we have talab, we have desires, we have quests inside. When we look at the quests and desires and requests, demands that human being has, when we study them all, we see that there is a difference maybe between human being and other things, that we have endless requests, endless quests. We can discuss it in philosophy and philosophical manner to prove it. I don't want to get into that line. But when we look at human being, you don't see any person he's full, in a sense that he doesn't want anything. Every moment, every day you wake up in the morning, you're grasping for something. You're looking for something. You look at the kings, they had big territories, still trying to occupy more. You see people who married to hundreds of women still wanting more. Those who have wealth, look at those aristocrats of the modern time. The heads of imperialism, Zionism, how much wealth they have. They are ruling the world, but still they are more thirsty than you and me. In any sense, you see that there is no end, there is no stop for the demands of human being. But it could be in different senses. Somebody may look for wealth, somebody may look for power, somebody may look for beauty, somebody may look for women, somebody may look for, in different perfections of animalistic, vegetational objects, whatever. People are looking for something, but there is no stop. There is a kind of infinite desire inside man that always wants more and more. So there is a kind of infinite desire and request inside. Talab, quest. This is the first principle. The second principle is that because I said you have the quest for existential things, something that exists, that has effect, that has outcome. If something is non-existent, means that there is no impact, there is no effect for that, nobody will look for that. You do not look for something that doesn't exist, because if it doesn't exist, means that there is no impact of that in the life. You look for impacts in any realm, in any of those categories in your life. If something is absolutely non-existent, sometimes it doesn't exist today, but there is a kind of existence for that. You see a land, you say, I will buy it, then I will turn it into a school, into a university, into a factory, so and so. So you have a plan. This is not absolute non-existent. You have the money, you have the plan, you have the land, so it has a kind of existence. But something which is totally non-existent, you do not have any desire to get it because it cannot have any effect in your life. So this is the second principle. The third principle is that there should be compliance between what you look for and what the one who desires. Between you and what you desire, there should be sankhiyya, there should be similarity, there should be compliance. My eyes, your eyes, desire light to see. So there is a kind of compliance between eyes and light, because eyes use light to see. Your ears السنخية with the desire, the compliance with what they like. It is the frequencies of the voice waves to come to the ears. Your stomach has desire and compliance with food. When the majlis ends, you want to go and eat. Okay? So if the brothers here, they say that Alhamdulillah, we had a nice program today, we recited matam, we recited masa'ib, we recited majlis, then that is enough for your stomach. You say that my stomach needs food. Quran or Salat or these things are not going to help my stomach. There is no compliance between Quran and my stomach. My stomach looks for food. So whatever you desire, there should be a kind of compliance between the one desires and the one which is desired. Again, this is a rational argument. Fourth, between you, something that all are rational arguments. We are not reciting any hadith or Quran, all rational arguments. The fourth principle is that what you desire and the one who desires, there should be similarity in the capacity. The capacity is considered. If you can eat one pizza, none of you have the experience of going to a place and request for 10 pizza and pay for 10 pizza. You know that my stomach has the capacity to take 1 or 2 pizza, not more than that. So when you go to a restaurant, to a place to eat, you do not order 20 cups of cappuccino because you cannot drink that. There is a rational relation between your capacity and what you desire. Okay? This masjid may contain, 1,000 people. So this masjid who can contain 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, 6,000, I don't know the number, it cannot request 100,000 people. There is a rational relation between the capacity and the desire. The fifth principle is that there is a knowledge of what you desire. If you do not have knowledge about something, you will not request it. Is there any brother here who doesn't know what is durian? If you do not know, just raise your hand. What is durian? You know what is durian? Did you happen in your life to wish to eat durian? No. When you do not know what is durian, you do not have any appetite for that. You don't wish to get it because you do have no knowledge about it. So you look for something that you have a kind of knowledge about it. Durian is a fruit, I don't know those who have eaten it, that has a very bad smell and a very nice taste. They say hellish smell and great taste. Now, after I speak these things about it, the brother is eager to go and test it. Now you have a knowledge. And another point is that you look for to taste something that you have a kind of experience with that. You go to a shop, you say that I'm looking for something sweet. I don't like bitter. You have experienced it. Again, this is a rational argument that you taste things, you desire things that you have a kind of experience. Put these things, 6 elements together. Once again, we desire endless. We desire existential things. We desire things that have compliance with us according to our capacity. We know about it. We have experienced it. So we desire as a human being something with no limit, something that suits us. We have the capacity to get it. We have compliance with that. We have knowledge about it. And we have been with that. We have experienced it. Did you get it? Can you deny any of these principles? rationally. Now all of you confess to La ilaha illallah. Allah is what? Allah is the infinite, desired. Allah is this. Allah is the beloved. Something I'm looking to worship as ma'bud, endless, kamal mutlaq, perfect existence. He is infinite, I am infinite. I have the capacity with him. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Allah taught all the names to Adam. Now this is crazy, test that if I teach you 7 questions, keep the answers with you, then I ask this person, oh, please answer. If you think that you are better than him, then answer the questions. He doesn't know, you give the answer to him. Allah says, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. Allah gave the names to Adam, then asked the angels, if you think you are better than him, answer, tell me what I taught him. And angels understood this story. And they said, سُبْحَانَكَ لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا. They found that what Allah gave to Adam, these are not just some names to memorize. This is ma'rifah. This is the difference between knowledge, between ilm and ma'rifah. Before coming to Cape Town, if I was told that you know about the masjid in Cape Town, I could say that alimtu. I know about it, alimtu. Means I have the knowledge. Somebody once, my colleague talked about it. There is a masjid in Cape Town, alimtu. But when I come to masjid, I stay in the masjid. When I go back, they ask me, do you know about the masjid? I say, ariftu. I have ma'rifah. I was there. I cite myself. I stayed there. Now it's not the ilm, it's ma'rifah. When you go to classes, they teach you how to drive car. The teacher explains to you, you have the knowledge, ilm. But when you begin driving yourself, driving is ma'rifah. The moment you learn, it's ma'rifah. So if you look at human being, human has endless desires. This desire is not gonna end. And this suits my character. I feel it in myself that I'm not going to be pleased with anything. I still want more. So you see that you have the capacity that was given to Adam, the angels didn't have. Then we need to talk about the names of Allah. We don't have a time for that. But that is the capacity. And the angels were clever enough to understand what is the capacity, that Adam has this infinite capacity that he has. Then you were with him, you know it, in your heart you know it. That is why I said you look for something infinite. You look for him, even though you just make a mistake in finding what you are looking. So all people, even the Zionists, even those atheists, all are looking for this infinite, but they don't know how to find it. They try to find it in wrong ways. But if you had the ma'rifah, if you knew about it, then you could find it. So you make mistake, though the people make mistake, but all they have this eagerness for infinite being. And that infinite being, we may call it Allah, somebody else may call it something else. So what makes you human being is this desire for the infinite being, an infinite, perfect being. You have the desire, you find the capacity inside, you feel you have the knowledge about it, you have experienced. You have a kind of experience. Quran talks about this experience. That Allah says we took the generation of man from the back of man, the back of Adam, and we asked them, Alastu birabbikum qalu bala. So you have said this qalu bala once in your life. And then when you come to this world, you have that capacity, you are looking for that, and that is the human side of you. Of course, it needs more explanation, inshallah. In the coming night, I will talk about it. I hope, inshallah, it's not getting complicated. But I wish to raise this wisdom and knowledge in the hadiths of Ahlul Bayt. Might be a little bit difficult, no problem, inshallah. We will try to digest it. But it opens our eyes how long these ma'arif should be in the books, not to be used, and people not to know about it. Inshallah, we will talk about it tomorrow more. So now you confess to La ilaha illallah. This is not Quran, this is not Hadith, this is aql, your wisdom. Your wisdom finds that Allah is in your heart. Even atheists can confess that Allah is in the heart. Surah At-Tawheed, you are the manifestation of Surah At-Tawheed. Inshallah, if I have chance, I will talk about it. So every verse of Surah At-Tawheed is in your heart. That man with that greatness, then he can come and understand Imam Husain. Then you know that Imam Husain is going to take your hand to that infinity, to that endless realm of perfection. Then it is only Husain, it is only Ahlul Bayt who can ascend you that position. Let's have some masaib of one of the greatest masaib in Karbala, hardest for Abu Abdullah. His 3-year-old daughter, Ruqayya Salamullah alayha. All the shuhada, when they were going to the battlefield fighting, they knew that Abu Abdullah is there. They were, even the moment that they were being killed, Abu Abdullah went and brought their bodies back. But the hardest moments are for Abu Abdullah when he feels the loneliness. فوقف الحسين وحيدا فريدا فلما نظر إلى أصحابه كلهم ملغا على وجه التراث. He looked at his companions all laying on the desert of Karbala. He went, Tariq says, he fought several times. Abu Abdullah went and came back every time. He's trying to awaken people. فلبس إمامة رسول الله, he used the imamah of Rasulullah. وركب فرسه, the horse of Rasulullah, just to awaken these people. He was going fighting, coming back saying, Assalamu alaikum ya ahla bayt al-nubuwwah. Then the ladies will know that Abu Abdullah is still alive. One of these occasions Abu Abdullah was going and coming back. The history says that Abu Abdullah, he was on the horse after saying farewell to Ahlul Bayt, trying to go to the battlefield. The horses are trained. When you push the horse, jumps. Abu Abdullah pushed the horse, it doesn't work. It's not moving. Second time, didn't work. The horse didn't move. Abu Abdullah looked down, he saw that this daughter of him grasping the leg of the horse. No, these are arrows in the heart of Abu Abdullah. This is not simple. If you want to recite Rosa and the Masayib of the daughters of Abu Abdullah, you should have daughter yourself. Abu Abdullah said, what do you want, my beloved? She said, أريد أن تنزل من جوادك وأن تودعني وداع اليتامى. I remember that the moment that you received the message of Shahada of Muslim, you fondled, you pat the head of the daughter of Muslim. You had her sitting on your lap. I want you to say farewell to me the way that they say farewell to the orphans. Abu Abdullah came down from the horse, hugging his daughter. This is one occasion, and the other occasion, it was Ruqayya hugging Abu Abdullah's head in the palace of Yazid. Looking at the head, he said, oh my father, My story and your story is different from all fathers and daughters. It is the fathers who show kindness to their daughter. It is the fathers who kiss their daughters. But I have to kiss you, but I have to hug you. He says in his book المنتخب في جمع المراثي فقالت ما هذا الرأس. In the palace of Yazid, when they brought the head of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam, Ruqayya asked, what is this head? قالوا لها رأس أبيك. They said, this is the head of your father. فرفعته من التاج. Daughter of Abu Abdullah took the head in her hands. وهي تقول من ذا الذي خضبك بدمائك. Who covered your beard into your blood. من ذا الذي قطع وريدك. Baba Jan, who cut your throat. يا أبتا من ذا الذي أيتمني على صغر سني. Who made me orphan at this very young age. من للأرامل المسيب. Abu Abdullah, look at your family, all are captives. من للشعور المنشرات. Look, they have taken our hijab away from us, behaving us like kuffar. ليتني كنت الفداء. May I be your ransom. I wish they could kill me instead of you. ليتني كنت قبل هذا اليوم عمياء. I wish I was blind, I couldn't see your head. ليتني بسدت الثرى ولا أرى شيبك مخزبا بالدماء. ثم إنها وضعت فمها على فمه. She put the lips on the lips of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. وبكت بكاء شديدا. She cried aloud حتى غشي عليها. They thought that Fatima Ruqayya passed out when they came to her. فلما حركوها فارقت روحها الدنيا. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. إلهي بحقيقة يا أبو عبد الله. يا الله 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 يا الله. Oh Allah, accept this majalis from us. Oh Allah, say our salam and our irada to Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Oh Allah, make this majalis a virtue for us before Imam Sahib al-Asr alayhi salam. Oh Allah, increase the ma'rifah of Ahlul Bayt, ma'rifah of Abu Abdullah, ma'rifah of yourself in our hearts. Oh Allah, give shifa to all marza, to all who have said al-tamas dua to us. Oh Allah, shower the souls of amwat from these people, respected brothers and sisters in this majlis. All marhumin from the followers of Abu Abdullah al-Husain alayhi salam, muhibbin of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, from the very first time till now. Oh Allah, protect our children, our families at these difficult moments. Oh Allah, increase the light in our hearts. Oh Allah, give us the ma'rifah, our duties in this dunya. Oh Allah, prepare us for death. Oh Allah, bestow all of us the maut of shahada, inshallah. Oh Allah, give all brothers and sisters their habaij, inshallah. ببركة الصلوات على محمد وآل محمد.